Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Welcome to the original rock and wrestling radio show. Welcome to Beyond Ringside, your source for wrestling, MMA, and boxing in the Southeast. To contact the Ringside Roundtable of Beyond Ringside, email them at beyondringside@gmail.com. And now, your host for Beyond Ringside, the man, no myth, all legend, Fast Eddie Layne.
I want to say greetings, good evening, and how the hell are you? Welcome into the program. Beyond Ringside Live is on the air. Live from multiple location stations in more ways than one. I'd like to welcome in tag team partner, Mark MaBo Bowman.
See, you think I'm going to say something about cleaning up guinea pig poop, but you're going to be wrong.
And on that note, I'd like to welcome in tag team partner, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
How's everyone doing this evening? Cowboys going down, all right.
It has been a good weekend. I'm 3 for 3. I do not know what's happening right now in the Colts Broncos game. Therefore, I don't know if I'm going to go 4 for 4. Are you watching the game right now?
No, I was watching earlier. It was 14-7 Colts.
Wow. See, this was the only game that I was really worried about. And for those, I think most everybody knows what we're talking about, the AFC and NFC divisional rounds. I actually called the fact on my Facebook. If you go back and look, I said Green Bay will win a close game, less than a touchdown. They did. A friend of mine in Birmingham, Jay Yarbrough, a lot of people in our home market know him as Birmingham Jay, has kind of irked at me because I took the Patriots, and there was a reason why, because I knew that the Patriots were going to win. And sadly enough, it's kind of like the only prediction I really hated making so far, the game only, and that would be Seattle and Carolina, because in my heart I kind of wanted Cam Newton to pick up the win, but I just knew that Seattle had too many offensive weapons. Speaking of weapons, a good creative team and great direction and vision is often overlooked as a weapon for all parties considered. If you caught the ending of Raw, you saw the fact that their capper and their payoff to John Cena Appreciation Night was the firing of Eric Rowan, Ryback, and Dolph Ziggler. Am I the only one of the three of us that feels that that was completely and totally uninspired, predictable, and lame? Wick?
I have no idea. I didn't see it, so.
MaBo?
Wait, so they didn't get fired for real?
All right, guinea pig poop boy, come on.
Guinea pig poop, guinea pig poop. I mean, it was seriously lame. Now, if those three would have turned around and started beating the hell out of John Cena, then I would have been like, well, okay, there's a little bit of merit. But everybody just stood there like, ugh. So, yeah. And that's supposed to be the big angle that kicks off the road to WrestleMania? Nah. The only thing that kicked was me off the channel because I didn't want to put up with that crap.
Well, I knew, when I first started watching the show that night, it's like, yeah, this is going to go in the same direction that it always goes. The authority, we're not going to have an agenda. There will be no vendettas. There's no hard feelings. Okay, who's getting fired? This is the part, Wick, where you don't have to see it to know. Is it bad when it's that damn predictable?
Yeah, it's always bad when it's predictable and really, really predictable. Worse than that.
Now, before we keep on Raw for a hot second, is it next? Now, you didn't have a road trip last night, right?
No, I was supposed to go to Nashville Friday, but the person I was managing, come to find out, the promotion didn't want to pay what he was asking for, but they waited till the last minute to tell him so.
Oh, and we haven't.
That just lame ass.
And we haven't seen the barrage on social media. Congratulations. I mean, I'm scared.
Yeah, because it's not me. I mean, if they'd done it to me, I would have let loose. But they did who I was actually going to manage. So,
well, and this is the thing. Before we get back over, and I was very quiet this week about pro wrestling in particular, to a great degree, because you have to remember something. There is a rule of thumb. Whether they say something good or say something bad, you're still talking about them if you do put it on social media. And this is where I'll give Hitman all the credit in the world for this when we was talking about hashtag silent movement. Because if you're tired of seeing the same old crap week after week from WWE or any company, don't talk about it on social media. Because they count that as a social media impression if they pick it up. If you have 1 million references on social, whether it be Facebook, Vine, Instagram, Twitter, MySpace, doesn't matter. If you say something about it, they still count it as a hit. As a positive number. We got 1 million hits. Well, 800,000 of them said you suck. We still got 1 million hits. They're talking about us. At what point? And there's more to it as far as the situation with Raw. I will sit back and say this. The overall scenario, Dolph Ziggler versus Bad News Barrett, I enjoyed watching that match. I knew how it was going to go. But, hey, look, they gave him the first, but lo and behold, 2 fall straight. Nope, it's a 2 out of 3 fall match. I kept waiting on the Eric Bischoff, let's change the stipulation every 5 seconds. Do you think it's because of the fact that they're recycling so much stuff that they do try to cater to the kids because the kids haven't seen it all before, MaBo?
Sort of, yes.
Wick, your thoughts?
I think I kind of missed that question.
It's okay. Now, matter of fact, I'm actually watching the replay of SmackDown right now. And Wick, you and I had a chance to talk about this past Wednesday night on the To Be Determined show. But we have not had a chance to hear from MaBo and his perspective on the promo that was laid out by The Ascension on Monday Night Raw from this past week, where they basically it's all you, buddy. Let it go.
Well, I mean, remember, I brought it up to you guys' attention in the our message stuff that we got going on.
Right, production chat.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what you called it. Okay, Here's the thing. First off, I'm going to go ahead and say everything goes through, the Vince and Triple H lens before it's allowed. I guarantee it. Because we would have heard something. If those guys went out there and just started saying that crap on their own, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're bad. I just don't think they could come up with something, like that. They would have came up with something better. But you could tell that they were told to go out there and say that. And I even posted about it that, look, I like the Ascension. I think they're great, but stop talking. First of all, just stop. Second of all, if you're trying to build them to be I'm not going to say this generation's Road Warriors, because then everybody will shoot back. There's never been another generation of Road Warriors. Yes, I get it. Get your head out your ass. That's what I'm going to say. If this is supposed to be this generation's big bad power team, then copy the Road Warrior formula. If you want them to be monsters, don't let them sell anything. They got knocked down by little independent guys, little enhancement talent. Monday night. Now, I can understand if it was like the Usos or Gold Star. It's one of the established tag teams. Then, yeah, I could kind of understand that. But these were 2 enhancement guys. And I think it was Victor took a bump. No. But back to the subject of the promo. everybody's jumping on their case. Even Lance Storm, Mr. Personality, Mr. Charisma himself, Lance Storm. Ugh. Mr. Look, he was like, I shut off Raw because that was disrespectful to my friend Road Warrior Hulk.
You forgot to use the lead-in. If I could be serious for one moment.
Yeah. But, I mean, dude, seriously, that's what's causing you? Just because, and that's the thing, is they never said anything derogatory or that I could see as blasphemous. I grew up with the Road Warriors. Road Warriors, believe it or not, I think the Road Warriors were two of the first wrestling action figures I ever had, the old AWA line.
Right.
Matter of fact, I know it was. You know, those were. I mean, I loved the Road Warriors when they stabbed Dusty Rhodes in the eyeball with a spike.
Yep.
Everybody else laughed. Everybody else cried. I laughed. I thought it was great.
We snack on danger, we dine on death, and this apple is no stinking good.
But the whole point is, you know, they didn't. To me, they didn't say anything, you know, blasphemous. Somebody else started. I forgot who it was. They were like talking about how they also defamed the, you know, Demolition. I mean, we all know, you know, look, Barry Darsow, Bill Eadie, and, you know, to even an extent, Brian Adams.
Right.
All great guys in their own respect. But everybody knows that they were Vince's answer to the Road Warriors.
Supposed to be, yeah.
They just wore more dominatrix style clothing. And I still don't know how they wrestled in that. That just looked uncomfortable. But I mean, come on, it had a big ring right in the middle of that big circle. Nobody ever thought to like just take the tag rope and tie it around there. But anyway, getting off subject here. You know, I saw a couple people that were like, I'm good friends with Bill Eadie, and Bill Eadie would not have put up with that. No, what you're doing is name dropping. So cut it out. It's like I said, though, but very few people jumped on the, hey, they disrespected the Demolition bandwagon. I mean, if you're going to do, you know, one, go ahead and, you know, complain about both. But to me, they didn't say anything. They didn't bring up Hawk's, you know, overly publicized drug past. You know, nobody brought that up at all. You know, nobody brought up, you know, about how Axe, you know, was crying because he was like, you know, Demolition was his thing and his idea and yada, yada, yada. You know, so there was nothing. All they said was, oh, Demolition, we'll demolish them. Ooh, Road Warriors, we'll run them off the road. If I'm not mistaken, did Hawk die in a car crash?
I don't think so.
No, he didn't. So, you know, shut the F up. They didn't disrespect them. That's all. I mean, that's anybody. You go to any, you know, I don't want to say the F word, any crap show that, you know, where 3/4 of the roster wrestles in jean shorts, they'll come out there and say the same thing. We're better than the Road Warriors. We're better than the British Bulldogs. We're better than the Hart Foundation. Oh, big deal. So I mean, to me, it wasn't the content of their promo. It was the delivery. It's too forced. They just don't have a natural flow. I mean, if you don't believe me, go back and look at the one they did the week before. Go back and look at their vignettes.
Right.
Where they did sound like they were ripping off, you know, was it pain? Your pain is our pleasure, and pain is our business, or whatever. It's like that sounded kind of like you're trying to be the Road Warriors. Stop it.
Right.
So to me, it wasn't so much the content. If you want to talk about turn it off because their delivery. Turn it off because Vince is, or the writers or whoever is wanting another big, strong power team. You know, little throwbacks to the '80s. But it's not working because you're not doing it right. Complain about that, Lance Storm. Turn off the TV about that, Lance Storm. Go train people who will go on to more successfully better than you, Lance Storm. Best thing about you is your dadgum blonde rat tail from the 90s. So, I mean, people, you know, and I'm sure that there's some, you know, IWC nerds right now listening, or will be listening, or in the chat room. They're like, no, you're wrong. You disrespected the Road Warriors. suck a fat spike off of a shoulder pad.
Well, I'm one of those people, so I'm gonna have to disagree with you. First of all, they're a terrible team. I'm gonna try to do this.
I'm not saying. But that's what I'm saying.
Hold on.
Okay.
You cannot, when you are an idiot like those two, and you bury any tag team to make yourself look good, that is a terrible promo. Second of all, they have one of the weakest freaking finishing moves I've ever seen for a big man. Third of all, yeah, they did disrespect the LOD by saying that they would do anything to them. If they wanted to cut a real freaking promo, and a promo that was worth something, they would have compared themselves and said along the lines of Demolition and along the lines of LOD.
Right.
Then we are next. But no, they wanted to go and they wanted to bury two tag teams. They couldn't even hold their jock straps, and I don't give a shit. Plain and simple. Those two guys are terrible.
Wick.
I hate them, and I think that they are two of the worst wrestlers I've seen in some time. They took the finish move that the Eliminators did, and all they did was run. That is a weak move for two weak individuals. And I was pissed off. Now I'm really pissed off because the more I think about it, the more I say that when you're on a national product such as they are, they need to be held to a higher standard than anybody on any independent show out there. They have an opportunity and they have a grand stage to do it, and yet they let it run through their hands. They're terrible. They should never, ever in their entire lives cut another promo. They need a manager, and they need to have a better finishing move than what they have to be two big guys like that and have a weak-ass finish, because that is one of the weakest finishing moves I've ever seen two big guys do in professional wrestling, period, bar none. And everybody that let them cut that promo should be fired. They have 26 writers on the Raw and SmackDown staff. There's 2 on NXT. You look at any or listen to any promo that comes out of NXT, because those guys were on the independent scene and had to cut promos for themselves, is better than anything the Ascension will ever do. That is why NXT is kicking the main roster's asses. And not only that, as we talked about Wednesday night, the Ascension lost 2 matches going into that. I don't remember the Road Warriors losing 2 matches in an entire year. And if you wanted to get the titles off them, they could have very easily let them take that to the main stage and stripped them of it. And everybody said, well, I do remember a night that Triple H, Randy Orton, then Triple H, then Triple H and Randy Orton, Triple H, and then Randy Orton on one pay-per-view had so many title changes, it was unreal. So that's what I think about that.
MaBo.
Sorry for cussing. I was very Wednesday night was even worse, as we all know. But
it was.
Well, look, Wick, you know I respect your opinion and all that, and that's the thing. To me, it was, yes, in the end, it's coming out of their mouths. And trust me, I'm not saying that they could do so much better in the ring than what they did. I mean, I just sat there and said that, if they're trying to make them, the next power team, why have them lose? Why have them sell it all? Why have them lose to the Wicked Dragons? Why?
You're exactly right.
I mean, I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that. To me, though, and you saw my post. And, it wasn't just me trying to, kiss your ass in that post, because I named other people in that post who would fit perfectly to manage those guys. Eddie even brought up James Mitchell. I think it was in production chat, wasn't it, Eddie?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And you didn't like that.
I agree. Huh?
You weren't a fan of that idea.
I'm not going to say I didn't like it. It's just I think there would be somebody better.
Well,
but it also depends on how they're going to package them as well.
Well,
what's the guy's name that does announcing now? Corey Graves?
Yeah.
Yeah, Corey Graves would be perfect.
He would have been perfect for him.
I'll give you that one, yeah.
He would have yeah, perfect. I mean, he'd be perfect. And it's like you said, you talked about most of the guys down in NXT cutting their teeth on the independents doing promos. Corey Graves is one of those guys. If anybody remembers him as Sterling James Keenan, that's where he cut his teeth. I think I agree. But I mean, yes, they were the final delivery of that promo. But I guarantee you, those guys like I said, they don't have the common sense enough to come up with that stuff on their own. They were probably spoon-fed that.
Yeah.
By whomever. And it's like I said, if they would come out, shut their mouth, destroy, go to the back.
And don't sell. You said it exactly right.
Exactly.
You want them
and that
to
was my biggest.
Don't sell and come up with a better finishing move. I remember the Doomsday Device, man. You remember the Doomsday Device when they were hitting on it, everybody, and people were scared to take it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they weren't finishing the flip through.
Exactly. Think about what the Ascension's doing. That is one of the weakest moves I've ever seen. You have 2 big guys and supposed strong guys, that is one of the weakest. The reason why the Eliminators did the move that they did was because one had a jiu-jitsu background and an Army Ranger, and the other was, just terrible.
I think he had Taekwondo or something. Cronus had some martial arts training too. But if you notice, if I remember, but Cronus could also move for a big man, and that was the thing. He could. But yeah, no, and I agree. That is once again, if you're wanting to be a power team, that is not a finisher I would give them. I mean, do they have to directly rip off the Doomsday Device? No. Do they have to rip off the what did they call it? The Ghetto Blast? See, was it called the Ghetto Blast? Because I know Bad News Brown, when he would do his Enziguri, was called the Ghetto Blaster.
Right.
But I can't remember exactly what they called demolitions, but I want to say it was like the Ghetto Blast or something like that. But even that, backbreaker with a diving elbow. Still, give them some form of power finish. Trust me, go look at any of the WWE games. There's tons you can steal from.
Oh God, yes.
But no. But here's the thing: is everybody is pooping. Now I'm getting worked up.
There you go.
Everybody is pooping on Connor and Victor themselves. Here's the thing. This is my opinion. You can agree. You can disagree. The reason why they are still on this path, the reason why they're still doing what they're doing, and the reason why they're still cutting promos the way they are, is because apparently there's somebody or a group of people who are patting them on the back and saying, "Hey, good job. You're doing great with that. Hey, keep doing that. We're going to bring you up. Hey, say this exactly." It's like rewarding someone for doing a mediocre at best job. And notice I said mediocre at best, not great. Mediocre at best.
Well, maybe there's guys like that all in wrestling, though. There's several promotions that I've been to when I know that I've cut a terrible promo or a promo not up to my standards, and then people are like, "Man, that's the greatest promo ever," and I'm like, "You are a mark." But that's the problem. That goes to exactly the point of the problem with all of professional wrestling, is the fact you have people out there that tell people they're doing a good job. You know why? Who is more at fault? The ones that don't know that they're doing something wrong, or those that know that somebody's doing something wrong and don't correct it?
Exactly. And that's why everybody who's crapping on the Ascension, yeah, they're the ones executing it. But it's like you said, the people who are saying, no, that's good. Keep doing that, kid. You're going to be great. We're going to put the belts on you. To me, that is what's making it worse. If somebody would sit there and go, "Hey, yeah, that promo, like, who told you to say that? Why did you say it like that? Why did you deliver it like that? Or why are you, why that? Why did you choose that position? Why did you do this? Why did you do that?"
Well,
Nobody's questioning them.
See, they were trying to get heat. But as I said Wednesday night, instead of getting the heat they wanted, they got the Paul Lee heat. The disrespectful heat, where people now they are so far behind the 8 ball, it's unbelievable. If Dennis Miller had a show, they wouldn't even be on the table. Some people get that joke, some don't.
You're right. Now, let me go.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
Still one of their best songs.
But like I said, once again, to me, it's almost like these guys are. I mean, and I don't mean. I'm not going to say this. I'm not meaning this in a disrespectful way. These guys are tools being used, and nobody is using the tool properly.
Yep. Thank you.
But because honestly, I mean, when it was Conor O'Brien and when it was old Bram, what was Bram's name?
Didn't he get released for a DUI?
No, he got released for smacking a cop.
Hey, there you go.
But anyway, back when it was, I wish I could remember what it was. It was Conor O'Brien and Fudge Nuggets. I can't think of his name. Anyway, it was Bram. When they started doing the Ascension shtick, they were great. They didn't have that weird fall. I don't remember them having the fall of man, that weird. And to me, yeah, Conor needed to add some bulk to himself, because if you remember him from when he was on NXT. Yeah, it was NXT.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, NXT, the
never-ending season.
Yeah, the game show NXT. When he was doing that, come on, we can all admit it. When he was doing that rat-faced gimmick,
Oh my God, is that who that is?
That's who that was.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's him. He had the size.
Yep.
But he didn't have the bulk. Well, now he's bulked up, but it's still... And he was actually a little bit toner than that before NXT, the television show, kicked off, if I remember correctly. I might not. And they were doing fine when they were coming out before the whole weird Red Widow's Peak and...
Oh, my God. Eddie Munster.
The Eye of Osiris, whatever, painted over there.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I brought this up Wednesday. They don't even do the Eye of Osiris right. Is that not crazy?
Yeah.
Somebody lets them walk out there like that. And for people that know Egyptian mythology, those of us that know that is wrong. That's not even the real Eye of Osiris. And that just kills me. And I just sit here and I was trying to figure out who the other member of the Ascension was. When I Googled him, the very first thing that pops up, and I'm not big on the Bleacher Report, but it says, the Ascension need a manager to do their talking for them.
Originally, like when the Ascension was first formed, they weren't even doing that weird, dark, creepy gimmick. It was they just, for some reason, they called themselves the Ascension, but it was a group started by Ricardo Rodriguez. It was him, Tito Colon, Raquel Diaz, Connor was in it, and then they kind of, Ricardo got called up. Everybody went their separate ways and everything. And then they also had, like I said, they had Bram come in. And then that's when they started going with it. When Connor came back from the injury, that's when they kind of started going with that weird, that dark gimmick, whatever. I don't even know what that's supposed to be, but it worked for them.
I guess I guess it's supposed to be a take on the Road Warriors because it looks like something out of a bad parody of Mad Max 3 Road. But the one line that I did have a problem with in their promo was whenever they said, what a rush, what a joke. Because that means that you're saying that they were jokes, that the Road Warriors were jokes. And I'm telling you right now, I think the Dudley Boys are the greatest tag team of all time because they put people over.
Right.
They put people over they weren't supposed to. They helped make face tag teams everywhere they went. The Road Warriors just dominated. They didn't want to put anybody over. And if they didn't want to put anybody over, you know what? Just like Animal said, that's not the finish we came up with. Well, we just did it. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
No, that's okay.
But that was the problem I had with it, was that one line, because what they're doing is and they didn't wipe their feet before they got in the ring. Get real.
Now, that's the other thing. Now, for the, them saying that little hook at the end of it, that bothered me. But once again, I attribute that to whoever spoon fed them that. I guarantee you.
Oh, there's no way that you tell you how I know they didn't come up with that. Like you were talking about their delivery, that was something that they memorized. You could tell they memorized it because of how they said it.
Yep.
And that's coming from somebody who writes his own promo. Somebody comes up with, hell, you guys know, I come up with promos for other people. I help other people backstage come up with promos. I know we're pulling back the curtain a little bit, but for somebody who loves tag team wrestling as I do, and somebody that loves managers, this is the perfect storm. And it was put on a national stage, on an international, I keep saying national, on an international stage for these young guys to go out and look like idiots. And whoever gave them that finish should be fired as well. Because that is, man, they could come up with so much. Man, Damon, Christopher, and Chris Knox, smaller than both those guys, had a better tag team finish than those guys. And that just kills me.
But that's what I'm saying. To me, it's like I've said before. They have the look. It's just whoever is dictating to them is not doing it.
They're not.
It's just like pre getting called up, when they had the belts, when even before they won the belts, when they added Rick Victor to them, and before they made them Connor and Victor, they were great, for NXT. But it just, as soon as they started getting that stigma of being, oh, you're getting called next, oh, you're getting called next, oh, you're getting called next, and they started altering them and modifying them for the WWE universe and saying, oh, no, you should do this. No, this will be great. No, say this. This is what you should do. That's when, to me, the Ascension started becoming a shell of what they were. And once again, I attest that not to the NXT writers, because NXT's got it right. Whatever they're doing, they got it right. It's whatever's going on in the main roster. It's going through that main roster prism and coming out crap. That's why I pray to God we do not see Adrian Neville in a Mighty Mouse costume.
God.
I know they won't, but I just in the back of my mind, he's going to come out in like yellow body spandex and a red cape with red panties on.
We'll tell you what, on that note, we are going to take to the top of the hour break real quick. To everybody listening in live to BeyondRingside.com through TuneIn Mobile, through Shoutcast, through Winamp, and all the other ways that you can listen live to Beyond Ringside Live and Beyond Ringside Sports Radio. Thank you for hanging with us. Folks, once again, we'll be back in just a minute. This is Beyond Ringside Live.
This is the Cried Wrestler fan, the 30-day wheels. It's Robbie David. You believe me, you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne.
And I'm the Cosz, Robert Cosper.
And this is your invitation to join us
and the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock, right here for the Saturday Showcase.
At Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific time. See, we do math around this place. Be sure to catch us right here on BeyondRingside.com. You can also listen through Winamp for Android and BlackBerry, as well as the Shoutcast mobile app for Apple as well. Remember, that's Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
And let me tell you how you can find the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock on social media. It's very easy. It's at www.kissmyass.
Whoa. Stop that right there. Folks, we'll see you Saturday on the Showcase. Bye for now.
This is the seven-figure deal Ace Rockwell. And as long as Wicked Nemesis isn't on the show, please listen. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Motor Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Hey, this is Angel Orsini, former MMA fighter, professional wrestler. You can check me out at www.theangelorsini.com, and you are locked in on the Real Talk Radio, Beyond Ringside.
The Sunday night trifecta continues in more ways than one. Welcome back into Beyond Ringside Live on this Sunday night thing. 9 minutes after the top of the hour, 6 p.m. Central on this 11th day of January. A couple of things real quick. Let me run it down. WrestleRage Radio with Smart Grades and Stan returns in about 2 hours from right now. Special guest going to be rejoined by Rudy Boy Gonzalez, Rudy Gonzalez, however you want to phrase it, but they had him on earlier last year in 2014. Looking forward to part 2 of that interview tonight. Also, the return of the Midnight Black Mass, starring the good Reverend Dan Wilson. Speaking of somebody who'd be a perfect fit for the Ascension, I think he would. And I do believe, if my memory serves me correctly, he is going to have pro wrestling star and legend Pat Rose on this night's edition of the Midnight Black Mass. And actually, I think we're going to be getting it before the regular potty humor, Poddy humor, gets it up there. So I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. But you got us. Hang with us, because this party continues. The trifecta on a Sunday night on Beyond Ringside Sports Radio. Fast Eddie Layne over here. Mark Bowman, come on back.
What's up?
Wicked Nemesis, come on back.
I wonder how many N-bombs are going to be dropped tonight on WrestleRage by Rudy Boy.
Oh, boy. Scary thought sometimes.
You know what? He recently, I saw him posting something.
It was probably on
Facebook.
It was on Facebook more than likely, because I know that he made some comments about the comment that, or the post that Damon Christopher had made earlier this week.
I don't know. Rudy Boy has me blocked, so.
Really?
Yeah, I really didn't care for his attitude.
He's a piece of trash. Rudy Boy's a piece of trash. He stole money from people. He sold a ring to some kids, and he let kids get in that ring to train. And one of them got a staph infection so bad. Actually, 3 of them got staph infections. One of them got a staph infection so bad he literally had to end his career before it ever started.
Oh, my God.
And he always wants to take people's money. He wants to say Shawn Michaels did this for him, and he helped Shawn Michaels do that. No, he didn't. I know the real story.
That was going to be my next point, Wick. Was he's trying to ride the coattails of what Shawn Michaels allegedly did for him.
Rudy Boy's a piece of trash. He's right up there with Paul Lee.
Great. Now, let me go ahead and bring this one up. I kind of hinted to it during the intro of the segment. And we made the reference. Wick said, all three of us agree, that the Ascension should not cut their own promos. And I do believe that it was said in our production chat earlier this week about someone. I brought up James Mitchell. MaBo, you brought up Paul Heyman. And I believe it was also brought up for the Reverend Dan Wilson, somewhat of that style. I'm going to go ahead and sit back and stick with my original choice at saying that somebody like James Mitchell would be a good fit for them, considering the way they're coming across on television right now. Second choice, and I don't mean this in any particular order, but I will say second choice would be Reverend Dan Wilson. Thoughts in your direction? Who would be a good bolt up for them as far as the manager goes?
Oh, is that to me?
You have to name one of us.
MaBo.
Oh,
I did say MaBo.
You just said which would be a good choice, and then I didn't hear anything else.
I didn't hear it either. Sorry.
Yeah, that's why we were just like, what? Once again, it depends on how you're going to package them. I think I can't remember who I was talking to, but Bobby Heenan. God, if he was still, able to do it, I think Bobby Heenan would be a perfect fit for him. But yeah, if you're going to give him sort of more of a darker gimmick, I would say a Mitchell or a Dan Wilson. To me, it's just going to be how do you want to how are you going to play them? Because remember, Fuji had Demolition and the Powers of Pain, and I mean, Fuji was never the mystical one or anything like that.
Right.
Sure, he just started wearing face paint for some reason, but it just depends on how you're gonna play him. I think if you just not really so much, just let them come out straightforward. Have them, don't put the face paint on them. Don't put the weird widow's peak on them. But I think, because to me, I like Paul Heyman. I enjoy Paul Heyman. Ever since the Paulie Dangerously up till now. Do I agree with some of the things he says sometimes? Not really. Do I agree how he's carried on business at times? Not really. But I still enjoy Paul Heyman. I would have Paul Heyman come out because right now, to me, the way Paul Heyman is delivering what he's saying, it's very factual. He's like an agent when he comes out and he speaks for his client. He comes out and says this. They don't have to say anything. I mean, God forbid, you don't notice anybody shudder. Oh, Rick Rude. You don't notice anybody shudder. Like when Brock grabs the mic, everybody's like, oh, this is not good. So, I mean, anybody currently, and that's the thing, and we've talked about this before, how the WWE has a lack of managers. Not valets, because we all know the stance on valets on this show. Managers. They truly have a lack of them. We said, last segment, Corey Graves. If he's going to be, out from in-ring action, why have him pick it up? But like I said, there's quite a few guys who I think, you know, a Heyman, if Heenan was still viable, because you don't want to give a guy like James Mitchell or Reverend Dan Wilson somebody who's going to have just like a straight-laced gimmick. I mean, agree or disagree, it's my opinion. Because they have that air of darkness to them. Jeff G. Bailey, I think, will be good. But, you know, there's so many people out there that WWE could benefit from having on their roster and sticking them with the Ascension, but it's not happening. So,
Wick, you're up.
Corey Graves, right off the bat, somebody that's in the WWE house, so to speak. And then somebody outside of that would be Jeff G. Bailey, because he would actually help those guys and make them better wrestlers. That's what a real manager does. Somebody that is a worker, someone that makes a match better, not just by their promos, but how they help out the young guys and tell them, well, you did this, but you could have done this. And ask them, why did you do this? And then when you come up with a stupid answer, he says, no. You should have done this because it leads to this, it leads to this. So Corey Graves and, of course, Jeff G. Bailey are my number one selections with that. And myself.
Exactly. It's to kind of piggyback on what Wick said. You know, give them somebody who is not only going to help them as far as make them look good through that person's vocal stylings, but also who's going to be able to be on the road with them and say, okay, not just say you did this wrong, ask them, why did you do this? Okay, well, if that's your answer, yes, you're right, you did this, but you could do this better. Or why did you do this? No, that's not something you want to do. This could enhance it. Somebody who's going to teach them as well as make them look good. I agree with Wick.
You know, and it's really, and considering right now, WWE, up until the time that Zeb Coulter went off television, they actually had two managers and a valet. Even though she was a vocal valet, Lana.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't personally call Lana a manager. I call her a representative or a valet. Heyman and Dutch Mantel, managers. Plain and freaking simple. I think as time goes on, if Lana continues in the vein that she's going and continues to try to get better at what she's doing, she could evolve from a valet to a manager. But by the same token, you know, anything can happen in the WWE universe. And shifting topics for a second, I know that probably I'm the only one who saw it. I don't know. Lucha Underground this past Wednesday night, really enjoyed watching it. Aztec Warfare, where they crowned their new champion. And I'm going to sit back and say this. Sometimes less is more. And I'm not going to take this all the way back to WWE, but I am going to take this back to WWE. This is either going to be Trigger, Silver, Scout, or pick another dead horse. Because WWE is trying to write for 5 hours of live program, or technically 6 hours, add main event to the mix, with a certain core group of individuals and characters. And yes, they have 26 writers. Who cares? 26 people means you've got 25 differing opinions half the time. But when I'm watching Lucha Underground this past Wednesday night, when I'm watching Impact this past Wednesday night on Destination America, I mean, I've got people coming at me going, why'd they turn Eric Young heel? Why'd they do this? Why'd they do that? It's like, well, first off, let me watch the entire show so I can catch proper context. And those are two words that a lot of people don't take into consideration. Why? Because a lot of the times you just don't think about them. You really don't. When it comes down to it, someone who has a clue in booking and in storyline, in creative, will remember that in order to properly get the point across of what you're trying to do, it has to be in proper context. In-ring talent. If you want to tell the story, the moves have to be utilized and executed in proper context. Pardon me while the classroom's open for a hot second. That is why you have so many people who, for as many people that are fans of the X Division style because of the athleticism involved, there are more people who are, and those are normally traditionalist wrestling fans who aren't a big fan of the X Division style, or because they say it's too flippy dippy and it's too spot oriented, it doesn't make sense. They're not telling a story, they're doing a backflip. And I agree with that to a great degree. But if you have people like the Jackson brothers, Fish and O'Reilly, those who are not afraid to take to the air at the drop of a hat, but they do it in the proper context of telling a story in the ring and not just for the spot, then things work out. Now, Wick, you are most notable, or noted, by those who follow you and those who pay attention. Most of your promos are going to have at least one current event statement in it. One simile with what's happening outside the building in which a wrestling show is taking place. Most people, a lot of people don't get it. But for those who don't get it, explain how you keep reality in play in a wrestling promo by utilizing proper context, sir.
Because whenever you start off on a promo, you should have 3 bullet points. A lot of people liked, whenever I first got in the business, next week it'll be 9 years I've been in the business. I used to write out my promos completely because, unlike most people in our business, I don't just watch wrestling. There's some people I know that's all they do is watch wrestling. And that's fine for them. It's good to study up. But there's so many current events going around, whether it be with comic books, whether it be with religion, whether it be with politics, whether it be with things going on in your backyard. You have to be able to expand your mind. You have to be able to take that and put it in a work shoot scenario. And that is what separates me from a lot of people. A lot of quote-unquote managers you see today go out and they'll be like, next week we're coming for you. And when we get this heritage title down, we're going to defend it. That's lame.
You sounded just like Hank Hill there. Thank you.
Oh, really? I wasn't trying to. I've seen a couple promos recently by people that we know and some we respect, and their promos were terrible. Absolutely terrible. And it's because they're not used to it. They're not used to going out and finding something and building a promo around it. Because that's what you do. You take whatever you're doing that week. Like the 17th, we have a guy named Dion Johnson. Never known the guy before in my life. And you have probably the weirdest time. I thought that, Kyle Matthews and Dusty McWilliams were odd pairing. You have Dion Johnson and Dusty McWilliams against the Sevenfold Saints this Saturday in Peach State Wrestling Alliance. So here's what I do when I go to a promo, which they're not going to give me a microphone because they're scared I'm going to say something. And I don't need it because my voice is loud enough. I say what I want to. When the baby faces come out, the first thing you do is you have to take something that's going on. Like right now, we just had Charlie Hedbo killed. You go out and you can take several things from that and make it into a promo where it's not disrespectful, because that's what it is. You have to not be disrespectful. If you're disrespectful about it, then your promo is out the window. With everything going on in politics and going on in our lives, because I feel that the Wicked Nemesis, which is based off a cult leader, just like Enoch Kassarian is a different group of it, the Wicked Nemesis is also part of the quote-unquote Illuminati. So you take with that everything that has to do with the Illuminati. That's where the Wicked Nemesis come from. It comes from the thought of there being a secret society who makes judgment calls and creates everything that happens in our world. Wicked Nemesis thinks that he is smarter than the rest of everybody. And if people don't get my promos, fine. It's the same thing that Marilyn Manson said, and I'll never forget this. He said, I make music for a certain group of people. And for those that don't get it, they don't get it. For those that do get it, they know exactly what it's about, and it hits you in your soul. That's what it is to be a heel these days. You have to have something that reaches into somebody's soul. And it doesn't have to be disrespectful, but with everybody having these prissy attitudes, without cussing, and everybody being so PC, you can say one thing that completely has your promo set to a jump off without being disrespectful, and that's what it's about. And I've already said too much because now everybody's going to be writing that down, and some of these people that think that their managers are going to be out there writing down my formula, and they're going to go out and be like, Charlie Headbow shouldn't have been killed. Like, no, you've missed the
damn point altogether.
Exactly. But you have to take something nowadays, and that is what it's about. It's about, there's one person in the audience that's their first show. There's one person in the audience that may be the first promo they've seen that was never cut on international TV or on national TV. You take that and you keep that in mind every time you do a promo. And when you do a promo, you have to speak to a larger audience, because the way that wrestling is now, it travels over time. And I'm telling you right now, my promos resonate with so many people, and I hear about it all the time. And it's because I don't just stick to wrestling. I bring reality into wrestling into my promos. And that's what it's all about. It's just like when that guy Yoder, when he wrestled Steven Styles at UIW,
right?
When he come out in his little sailor's hat and his house coat, I asked him, I said, "Where's your towel?" He said, "What?" I said, "This is not Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy." Now, maybe 2 people in the audience got that, but to me, it was funny because anybody that's seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy gets that joke. And I have went from like the 5 or 6 people, the 30, 40 people in the audience that didn't get it, to the thousands of people across the world that do get that reference. And that's what it's about. You reference something on an international stage. You reference something that expands people's minds. And you don't have to talk over people's heads. I choose to. But when I do, it's directed directly towards them, period.
MaBo, when you're doing commentary on situations with LXW or IWA Deep South, or when you're looking at when you're watching a show in and of itself, take the words proper context that I lay out there and put them into your own realm as far as what they mean to you, as far as the way things come together.
You use too many words for me.
You know what I meant.
Dumb it down for MaBo.
Dumb it. You realize that's going to be a soundbite, right, Bowman?
I don't care.
Okay. During the time that you...
It's because I was looking up something else.
Of course.
When you had too many words, and then you had too many words and stuff. So now that you have my attention, dumb it down for MaBo.
Proper context for you doing commentary and when you're watching other shows.
What do you mean?
Oh, shit. There, we're even. I said one.
I mean, I'm serious. I'm not following. Like,
you know what? What Wick was just talking about in its entirety, while you were looking something up, I'll shift over.
I mean, what? Like, don't be a schmuck and come out there and say something that's like completely irrelevant.
Put it into the context of you doing commentary.
Oh hell, I'm a babbling idiot when I do commentary.
For everybody listening,
I don't even know why these people have me do their commentary. That's like a freaking retard.
Because you're fun to listen to, ding dong.
Yeah, well, you know what? So is flicking the thing that stops, the little door stopper. Those things are fun to listen to too. But after a while, it gets annoying. So, I mean, come on, we all enjoy that noise too. I dare you, everybody right now. Go find the nearest door stopper in your house. If you don't, go to the neighbors and just do it one time. I guarantee you will. If you do it once, you will do it at least 10 times before you get tired of it.
Are you talking about what should be like the sound effect for a mouth harp?
No, the door stoppers.
I know
that. Yeah. Just,
exactly.
But if you ever get one of I hate the houses that have them that are really short. And you hit it and you just go, nobody likes a, you want a, so, yeah. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
That's okay. We're going to the bottom of the hour break. Hang with us. We'll be back in 5. This is Beyond Ringside Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Temptation, Sean Tempers, and right now you are locked in with Beyond Ringside.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bill Behrens, and you're watching, you're listening, you're experiencing Beyond Ringside, and you are a better person for it. Trust me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is SmartRage from WrestleRage Radio, coming to you from the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join myself and my co-host, Super Stan Grubb, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, as we present WrestleRage Radio, where we rant and rave on everything in the world of pro wrestling. Sometimes we'll have a guest. Sometimes it'll be just me and Stan BSing about the sport that we love, pro wrestling. Check us out. Tune in Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, only on the Beyond Ringside Network.
This is Bob Allen, co-author of Gordon Soley's Something Left Behind and the Soley Chronicles, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with MaBo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Bad Brad Armstrong, part of the famous Armstrong family of professional wrestling, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is GCW's senior official Bernie Kowanowitz, and you are locked into Beyond Ringside.
Minutes before the top of the hour on this Sunday night, you got us the 11th day of January 2015. I will have everybody know that I've actually stuck to my New Year's resolution. I have not inadvertently written 2014 on anything yet. Typing is a different story, especially in file names. It's that simple. Want to remind everybody, keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com. Media page being updated on as available basis in more ways than one. Unfortunately, there were some post-production problems with Cause and Effect this past Thursday night. That is why the replay of the 2015 premiere of C&E did not go into rotation this past week. So unfortunately, Cosper is working to try to get some new software in to where the post-production problems will no longer be an issue. Sudbury, thank you for joining us over in the chat room. Always great to see you on board, folks. For those of you listening live on this 11th day, as we are live internet radio, podcast comes later. And if you're listening through your desktop application, or if you're listening and you've got a computer nearby, if there's something you'd like to make a comment about, please feel free. BeyondRingside.com. The chat is available over there. Also, from that vantage point, Facebook.com/BeyondRingside Live, as well as at Beyond Ringside over on Twitter. Love to find out what you're thinking. All you got to do, shoot us a message. Let us know. I'm really kind of surprised that the world didn't go bat nuts crazy more so than it did this past Wednesday. I also have to remember they're on a new network. Not everybody realizes that they have it. And for those of us who do have it, we're very elated. After the Knockouts title match from this week on Impact on Destination America, Havoc attacked Taryn from behind. All of a sudden, the lights went out. And everybody in there started going crazy because they could see before the television audience could see. The return of Awesome Kong to Impact Wrestling. If you still haven't seen it yet, sorry, hate it. Gotta talk about it.
Spoiler alert.
Not really a spoiler. It happened on live television. It's not like it was taped to happen 2 weeks from now. It's live TV.
Yeah, but if you start talking about a movie that premiered on Friday, and people have yet to go see the movie, you still want to say spoiler alert.
Oh, well. Y'all done it to me before. But
Dude, I've already seen it. I'm just talking about other people.
Okay. Well, this gives you another reason to go back and look. Or go back and look the first time before you thought about watching it. Figure that one out. Sour Skittles rule the world, dude. Period.
Quit tasting the rainbow and get on with what you're talking about.
Okay. We talk about moments in time. And when the lights came up, and Awesome Kong is in the ring on Impact Wrestling Live, and the stare down occurs between her and Havoc, I'm sitting back making sure that my DVR is set to record a week this coming Friday night so I don't miss any kind of showdown these two might have. Look, as a fan of good women's wrestling and as a fan of pro wrestling, I would love to see Havoc and Kong go at it. Because I legitimately think, if you remember her run through TNA, Sour Skittle still got me on that one. Kong had some good matches. But considering the fact that she was twice the size of most of the other women in the Knockouts division, that was hard to do. And keep it realistic. But she did very well. That's why she got the shot to go to WWE, which, I'm sorry that didn't work out. I'm glad to see her back on TNA. I think Jessica Havoc is good in the ring, depending on who she's working with. There are varying opinions on that, but I think Jessica Havoc is actually one of the better women wrestlers out there today, depending on who she's working. Not everybody can make a Q-tip look good. Or a broom handle. Or a garden snake. Figure that one out.
Or the beautiful people.
Or the beautiful people. Yeah, no. Especially circa 4 years ago. They weren't that great then, but they had it going on. And I was watching the WrestleRage production chat, and Corey popped up in chat and said, it's reported that Kong is at the event. Or backstage at the event. And I'm going, okay, great, wonderful, love it. I hope she shows up. She showed up. I'm happy. And Corey got pissed because he didn't have Destination America. I'll hear about that in about 2 hours from now on WrestleRage Radio. But the cool thing about it is, why are we so intent? And Mark, you brought it up perfectly. Spoiler alert. But I'm going to go to Wick first on this one. Why is it that the general populace is so damn determined to try to play spoiler for everybody else, or not content to just let stuff unfold organically anymore, Wick?
Well, first of all, Corey's a mark, so that's why he does things like that. To make everybody think that he's smarter than them. He's like, hey, guess what? Kong's backstage. It's the same people that do it for, like, as soon as The Walking Dead's over, they start putting stuff on social media. Because they don't care about themselves. They only care about what's little inside their bubble, nothing that's outside of their bubble. That's what it's all about. Everybody wants to be that person to be like, hey, you know what? I'm smarter than you. I've got better sources than you. No, you don't have any sources. You're not Deep Throat, so shut the hell up. I've heard so much stuff. I've heard several rumors about what's going to happen in Batman v Superman. I'm not putting it up there because it's not my place to. I don't want to spoil the fun for everybody. But that's what it is. So everybody, especially Corey, has his head so far up his ass that he wants everybody to think that he's smarter than him. He wants to be the guy about, I told you so first. That's the type of person that a lot of people are. Not just in wrestling, but in movies, in any kind of entertainment. There's those people out there, and they're never going to change.
That's why you don't go on social media. And if Corey had put that in the chat, I'd have been like, Corey, you have diabetes and you'll be losing a foot in the next 2 years. So, and I actually like Corey.
MaBo, other than Corey, your thoughts?
Oh, Lord, I was going to say, we ain't got time for that. For the Lord of Jesus, we ain't got time. And I don't like him, so it'll be much more brutal.
Rule 17, let
Right.
it go.
Rule 17. What do I look like, Elsa? I ain't letting crap go. To me, the people, it's like those same people. I don't really see it as much anymore. But back in the day when you would see like a post or something, say on a message board, you know, like, I had a can of soup. It was delicious. You'd always see that one schmuck is like, first post. It's an ego boost to them, you know, to sit there. Now, if it was something like earth-shattering, like, holy crap, John Cena just barfed up baby penguins. that would be something you want to put out there ASAP. But, you know, it's like Wick said with the Walking Dead spoilers. You know what? There's the other half of the country that doesn't get to watch it at the same time we do.
Thank you.
There are people who might have to work that night. There are people who might have fallen asleep. There might be people who, you know, are busy. And they don't want to see that. To me, it's just people who do spoilers like that. I mean, that's why, I mean, I could easily, back when, you know, NXT or whatever, what was it, freaking TNA, when they would, you know, tape out, I'd be like, oh, I could say something. Like, you know, I didn't blatantly just be like, oh, hey, Low-Key won the X Division title. I'd be like, well, you know, if you want to know, then this is what's going to happen. But, you know, you just don't blatantly say it. You try to say spoilers. If you think about it. Now, if it's a heat of the moment thing, like, if it happens in the moment, that's kind of understandable. Or you're just like, oh, crap, and you don't even think about it. But if you're doing it just to get attention, to call attention to yourself, then you've got some serious self-worth issues. Like, yeah, it was reported. I saw where it was reported that Kong was backstage. Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was, you know, I was like, okay, so maybe she, you know, I didn't really think she would come out because I don't know what, you know, if she's not retired, but what her situation is, you know, because she's been very sporadic in these past few years since leaving WWE.
Yeah, she came out dressed and ready to rock, dude.
Yeah, oh, I know, I saw it. You know, to me, it was kind of like her and Havoc maybe should have coordinated because they both had red streaks in their hair and they both had on black leatherish outfit with red trim and stuff. It's like, maybe you should have you know.
Okay, Mr. Blackwell.
You know, dude, that really does bother me, though, like when like two people facing off each other have near identical outfits, and I'm just like, come on, guys, somebody should have just coordinated. You were in the locker room together. Somebody could have done something. But, yeah, it's just, to me, if you do it on occasion or by accident or whatever, that's one thing. But if you're one of those people who are constantly, as soon as something ends, you want to throw it out there, and you do it on a regular basis, then you have some serious, you know, self-worth issues, and you really need to look at it because it means you need help, you need friends, you need a fleshlight, something.
It's like the people that whenever they go and they get some illegal drugs, the next thing you know, you use up. Hey, you used up all my cocaine. Well, you bought it.
See, for me, it's simple. When we do after pay-per-view shows, most people with an IQ above drop wallpaper paste are going to know the fact that we're going to talk about the pay-per-view that just occurred. You have some people who are going to listen because they're not going to get the pay-per-view, but they still want to find out what happened. You have people, even more people, who listen, who saw the pay-per-view, who want to hear our spin on it. Because we're going to approach it from a linear, logical, rational point of view. And have fun doing it. for those who are going to sit back and listen and go, I wonder what they're going to talk about tonight. Oh no, they're talking about the pay-per-view, you jerks. Well, guess what? We normally tell everybody if you saw the pay-per-view, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Well, that if the show is specifically based off if it's a post-pay-per-view show, kind of should know what you're getting into.
Well, the thumb people who run the footpath who forgot to get into it.
Well, I mean, it's just like, what do they expect on a post-pay-per-view show? Like, we're going to come in and be like, oh, Eddie, did you see when that guy did that move and then he rolled him up and he won that belt? Oh, my God.
Well, see, I'm notorious if I'm going to a movie, when I leave that movie, I'm going to mention either one of two things. It was really good and I want to go back, or it sucked and I want my money back. I'm not going to start breaking down the plot line and the dialogue and the overall cinematography of a movie right after I come out, especially if I'm seeing it on the first day. I have more respect for other people than that. It's just... Yeah, and the Walking Dead crap, that's why I don't get on social media Sunday nights after 9 o'clock. But then you have so many... Huh? But then you have so many people who will get on when Sons of Anarchy was the hottest show on television, right alongside of The Walking Dead, and they'll be live tweeting or live Facebooking. These are people who normally don't make it long on my news feed. I'll unfollow them. I don't care. Because it's a respect thing. Tease it, yes. Make me want to watch it that much more, yes. Lay it all out there, no. Because it just shows that you have less respect for yourself than you do for everybody else, because you want to show that, hey, I got this over here. I'm going to tell everybody about it because I'm watching it too and I want to be cool. You're not cool. You're not cool. Plain and simple. It's just that damn easy. And it's funny because some people message me asking me, why did Eric Young turn on Bobby Roode? Why did he turn heel? And some people just said, man, why'd he turn? It's like, okay, I got the whole gauntlet.
Because he had all day in the back to think about that promo, and that's all the crap he could come up with.
Son of a bitch. You were waiting on that, weren't you?
Yep, sure was. Yes, I was.
Because, would you like for me to send you that soundbite?
No, because I like for you to play it on Wednesday nights when we start talking about crappy promos.
Because actually, I don't know, MaBo, if you remember this or not when I first cut it and started playing it. The James Storm line from Impact months ago, when they were when James was having problems with the addiction, as it were, or bad influence. And he just let it rip on Cass by simply saying,
so you had all day long to sit back there and think of a promo, and that's the only crap you could come up with?
Which in my book is still priceless.
Man, I remember that.
It was just a case of, I played that on Wednesday when we were talking about the Ascension. But
well, see, sadly, my TNA, I just finished watching it right before we came on the air. Even though I had read, online what happened, mine actually ends right. I don't know if my DVR didn't anticipate a run over, so it ended before the end of the match. Luckily, I know what happens, and everything, and I don't know where they're going with that.
How did Josh Matthews do on commentary?
Real well.
Not bad at all.
Real well.
Not bad at all. So
his style meshes well with Taz.
Yeah.
But Taz going, whoa!
And we actually heard a return by Taz to a little bit more of his Season 1, Season 2 Impact style. Where he was a little bit more candid, a little bit more blunt, and a whole lot funnier.
Yeah.
Agree, MaBo? Seriously?
I just said yeah.
Okay.
But, so mine cut off. But like I said, Yeah, and I'm not going to play spoiler because I don't. I mean, if you saw the ending, you know what happened. Did they give the name Eddie at the end of the show?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, I've seen some people make the comments, on the naming of the new clique, and I don't even know if they're an official clique or not now. I mean, I've read the spoilers, and they don't, unless, I mean, this was just spoilers from what was shown in the ring. Now, if there's any, there might be some other stuff filmed, because I heard there was like a big street fight filmed,
right.
for later on.
Right. There's spoilers up for like 4 weeks in advance.
Yeah, but I'm going to have to, hold on, I got to go punch a guinea pig. Put the bowl down. He keeps flipping his food out. Sorry.
It's all right.
Come here. I'm not mad at you. Anyway, but I don't know if they've given the name, but this is where I need you to kind of play that James Storm promo.
So you had all day long to sit back there and think of a promo, and that's the only crap you could come up with?
But I would change promo to
name of group.
Name of group. And yeah, not the best in the world. And
well, consider.
We'll let.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we'll let everybody, see how it is when it plays out on TV.
Well, by the same token, I really think that Kaz's line when it comes to Kaz should have been allowed to name the new factor, even though he's in ROH now, because I think the perfect name would have been
We Drink Two. We Drink Two.
At least that'd be the nickname for the creative team if they actually came up with that crap.
What did you say it was?
We drink two. We drink two.
Oh, I thought it said I couldn't understand him.
Yeah, that was the only thing about it. Okay, maybe you can understand this one.
Yay, here's alcoholism.
Something a couple of us on this show know very well. We're not alcoholics. We're just professional drunks. Please don't try this at home. And let me ask a question. Have either of you seen, and I'm asking because I don't know. I'm asking, do either of you know anything about this show called Wrestling with Death that comes on WGN America Tuesday nights?
I had heard about it, not much, but I had I just saw the advertisement for it on Destination America.
Same here. I'd never heard of it before. Wick, are you familiar?
Kelly LeVeaux, who wrote the great article for the University of New Orleans that included myself and Tasha Simone talking about Carney, actually asked me about it. So far the buzz is that they're expecting it to be the next Duck Dynasty because of it being about wrestling and being something geared towards Southern hospitality or rednecks, ever how you care to say it. But it's generating a lot of buzz in the entertainment community. So we'll have to wait and see. I think that I believe they are, God, what are they? Morticians.
Yeah.
I think, what can you say?
Well, I'm pulling up an article right now, and it's from WGN Radio. New to WGN America. And MaBo, was there something else you wanted to add before I pull this up?
This woman's dressed like Captain America. Take that off and burn it.
Yeah, I saw that too. Now go ahead, Eddie.
No, there was just a quick blurb put out on WGNradio.com. It's basically new to WGN America. LaFonce and Sandra Latham are undertakers by day and wrestlers by nights. So it's a perfect TV show. They're good people, and we hope you check out the program. And yes, a female is wearing a Captain America outfit and should never wear it again.
But they do wrestle in Louisiana and Arkansas, though.
And we haven't contacted these. Well, I just found out about the show the other night, so I can't be held against. You can't hold it against me on that one. Although I am working on having a conversation with our good friend Nigel McGuinness about coming on for his new project that's in the works.
Who's that again?
Nigel McGuinness.
Nigel McGuinness.
Shut up.
Wick, Nigel McGuinness from Ring of Honor television?
Dude, I've just finished eating a box of sour Skittles. I'm going to be off kilter for a minute.
You're talking to the wrong person
look.
because I drank some damn beer salt the other night and about died during the last segment.
That's horrible. What'd you do, lose a bet?
No, we ran out of beer. As anybody listened to the radio show Wednesday night, it went from yep. Every time somebody said something from Angie to her laughing, giggling about everything, to me being so drunk that I misspelled Eddie's name. I pulled a Jason Skill.
No. Funny.
See, I didn't say the name.
Thank you.
And he called himself the best announcer in the Southeast, not in Alabama, Eddie. So
yeah, he's a dork.
Take that.
I don't have to call myself anything, and I think I mentioned that pretty well in depth on Wednesday night.
No, you take that.
Oh, I'm supposed to take the fact that he's... Okay, cool. Prove it.
Yeah, get booked somewhere other than Mike Jackson giving you $5.
Prove it.
He can't prove it because he can't get booked anywhere. He's a mark.
Wait, Mike Jackson gave you $5?
Nutsack.
Nutsack money.
Nutsack money.
Oh, hashtag nutsack money.
We got to get that started on social media.
It was there. When we walked in that night, when we walked in that night at Peach State, and he was washing his balls in the sink. When there was a shower 5 feet from him, I was like, "Oh my god!" And if he just said the N-word one more time, somebody was going to rip him apart. It was either going to be me, Crew Jones, or Chris Knox.
Well, see, I think probably why he was washing his balls in the sink was because he could actually lift them up, because he's got those giant pendulous swinging balls. He could actually lift them up and sit them in the bowl of the sink and wash them, because if he tried to wash them in the shower, run the risk of stepping on one or it getting sucked into the drain, and then nobody wants that.
And now that we've gone to hell in a handbasket with little red wheels and orange hubcaps, folks, we're going to the top of the hour break, and we'll be back for the home run round. Hang with us. God, this is Beyond Ringside Live.
I'm Bobby Ches, a three-time world champion, Showtime expert analyst for more than 10 years. You're locked in to the On Ringside.
Hey everyone, this is the Cosz, Robert Cosper, host of Cause and Effects Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. This is your invitation to join me, along with the Effects Stuart Couch, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and all of the craziness that is C&E, right here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. It's wrestling radio with a twist, and some might just say with a twist of lime when the bar is open. Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
I'm Global Championship Wrestling ref Bo Cannon, and you are locked in Beyond Ringside.
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for WrestleRage Radio, right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and Smart Rage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained, and along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at WrestleRage.
This is Hector Camacho Jr., and you are locked in with Beyond Ringside. It's junior time.
Five minutes after the top of the hour, welcome back into Beyond Ringside Live, and we are headed for the home run round. Fast Eddie Layne on this side of the control panel. Like to welcome back in tag team partners Mark MaBo Bowman.
I shall not respond.
And the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Red hot wrestling news shooting up your butthole.
No, something I don't normally do in this forum, and I know the risk that I'm taking by saying something of this. I did notice the stories that have been going around as a number of different world leaders have taken the time out of their schedule to join citizens in France and in Paris for a march to show solidarity and unity in the face of terrorism. And for the fact that the United States was represented by an ambassador and not the so-called leader of our country, in my book, and in my personal opinion, which does not reflect those of anybody else on this cast or on this network, is an embarrassment. Back nine Barry, you need to put up the 5-iron, use Air Force One for a good reason for a change, and you need to stand with the rest of our allies. Speaking of allies, somebody who probably doesn't have too many of them right now, and that's over in the UFC, and that's Conor McGregor, but the thing about it is he don't need them because he a badass. And we are going to get a chance to see that this coming Saturday, UFC Fight Night. Oh my God, I am so ready for this show. And I've got to sit back and say something. They're doing it right again. I can see where people weren't big fans of the Jones-Cormier fight. But considering some of the things that have happened in UFC over the last couple of years, I'd say that it was a little bit better main event offering than we've been getting from them.
Hold on. You know, John Bones has that old school pre-workout, before his match. It's called cocaine.
I can understand that. Now, the way that I'm looking at things, and, by the way, by the same token, let me go ahead and say this one. This coming Saturday night, World Series of Fighting on the NBC Sports Network returns, WSOF 17. It's going to kick off at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. And it's going to go cross-country, so it will be 6 p.m. Pacific time. A name that a number of you are going to remember and know, much less remember, Jake Shields is going to be fighting in the main event for WSOF 17. My apologies. Cough button didn't work. World Series of Fighting is broadcast live on the NBC Sports Network, NBCSN. Check your local listings. I have been on board with this company for a long time as far as their outings go. And owner Ray Safo has been doing a great job putting together these shows. So if you call yourself an MMA fan and you haven't checked out one of their outings yet, if you're not going to be home Saturday the 17th, like some of us who are going to be in Carrollton, Georgia, DVR it. Good companies deserve your support. If you can't be there live in Planet Hollywood in Las Vegas and you get NBCSN, DVR it. Go back and watch it. Avoid the spoilers. Or even read the spoilers. I don't care. Because the spoilers are going to simplify, are basically going to show the fact that it's a good show to begin with. And you're going to be treated to some great mixed martial arts action. So definitely check it out. Bellator's got an event Friday night. WSOF on Saturday night. UFC Fight Night's on the horizon this coming weekend as well. Trust me, it's another great weekend to be both a wrestling and... Speaking of, there is something that I've been meaning to bring up, and he's probably already there by now. We've had discussions about the Alabama Athletic Commission and what it originally started out as. I would like to say, and this time I feel I do speak on behalf of all of us here at Beyond Ringside, Deontay Wilder headed for Vegas, 38-0 record, if my notes are correct. I think they're a little bit off. Deontay is heading out for an opportunity to become... he's fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. I want to wish him the absolute best. He is a tremendous talent, a great fighter, and he does the state of Alabama proud. So I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm still trying to get all the details on it. I could cheat and say that I'm doing it right now, but I'm not. But I will have it before Tuesday night and back to basics, so I'll lay that one out there. Speaking of, let me go and throw it back your way, Wick, for a second. This coming Saturday, the 17th, we'll all be over at Peach State, right? And matter of fact, the Sevenfold Saints back in action.
Yeah, you can say back in action. Action-packed action at Peach State Wrestling Alliance. What do you want me to speak? I have no idea about this Dion guy. I know he's a big guy, but he's wrestling probably the most over guy in Peach State's history, or wrestling with him, Dusty McWilliams, and definitely the most hated. Sorry, Tommy Two Pits. Definitely the most hated person in Peach State history myself. But this is probably going to be our last time at Peach State. So
I'm sorry.
maybe what?
I'm sorry.
That's not my fault. I mean, other people pay better bookings. So
oh, there you go.
Yep.
MaBo, what's the odds you're going to make the trip over with us this coming Saturday?
Gallivant.
I didn't understand what you just said.
Nobody does. I don't know. If somebody comes and picks me up, I'll go.
Careful what you wish for. You just might get it.
Well, hold on. Let me double check something.
You still my gimmick.
What's that?
Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it.
I'm older than you. I stole it from somebody long before I stole.
I've been wishing for something and I still ain't got it, so I don't care.
What were you looking for?
You won't let me say it on air.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Oh. As long as I don't get too much of the herply-herplies, I'm good.
Okay. You were talking about whether or not you put it on hold because I asked if you were going to make it this coming Saturday. You said if somebody came by to pick you up, and then you turned around and said, hold on, let me check something.
For a later date, I will let you know at a later time if I'm going.
Okay. And for the record, I did cheat and look it up. Wilder is on to Las Vegas to take on Bowman. Oh God, how do you pronounce it last name? That's how familiar I am with this opponent. Bowman Steve May for the heavyweight championship on Saturday, January the 17th, 2015. Matter of fact, I may cheat and get in touch with Jay Deese and see if we can see if Jay will come on this coming Tuesday night on Back to Basics. So you never know, it could happen. Just got to make a phone call, and I just got to remember to make the phone call because I've been trying to buy new glasses for the last freaking year. And by the way, if you have Amazon Prime, I'll just go ahead and say this one real quick. Amazon Prime is a great service to have. And no, I'm not getting paid by them to say that. I actually pay my $79 a year or whatever it is to get the annual membership. I need new glasses. And they had it on Amazon Prime that for $49, I get a $225 voucher for Pearl Vision Center. Really? That ain't bad at all, kids. But going 13 minutes after the top of the hour, and I want to go ahead and toss it around the room as far as last calls go. Open topic, open forum, thoughts. Bring them on. Mark MaBo Bowman, last call.
No, I'm good. I mean...
You who normally have 93 things to talk about.
Well, I mean, there's a couple things.
Go ahead.
On the plus side, I think we're about 2 weeks out from the Chikara season premiere. So, yay. More info to follow. Saw something, and I've seen a couple posts. I'm not going to name the individual. If I'm not mistaken, though, this person has been a past guest on this show. I believe. And I can't remember. Eddie, we'll discuss this off the air. Because, about who it was and how we obtained them. I just can't remember if I reached out to this person or if a promoter reached out to this person. But there's a certain individual who has gained some notoriety over the past few years. I think, it's a heck of a talent, but this person is now going about saying, and I don't know, maybe, maybe they've had some bad experiences on some podcasts and or, internet radio broadcasts live, but they're going around saying now, don't contact me to be on your podcast or show if your first question is, so tell me about yourself, or if I don't know you, or unless the promoter asks me to come on your show. It's just, he's coming off very dickish.
Okay.
And it's kind of bothering me. I'm not going to, and I mean, who knows? This person, and that's the thing with Facebook is sometimes, or a lot of times, what the person puts is very genuine and very, real life. But then I don't know if I don't know what's going on with this person. It's just kind of pissing me off. It's just like, in my opinion, is if anybody's asking you to be on their show for an interview, I'm not saying you gotta, kiss their butts on air, but be grateful that somebody recognizes who you are and wants to help you get your name out there even more and help promote what you've got coming up even more. So don't be an a-hole about it. It's just, and I actually kind of like the guy, so it's really just rubbing me the wrong way. What else was there? Oh, and the whole thing about, and it's just, to me, it's just kind of stupid, but now the word going around is that since the WWE creative, I know you can't see the air quotes when I do that, says they have nothing for Dean Ambrose, so they're deciding, one, to turn him heel because they've got nothing for him, and two, his merchandise is actually starting to outsell John Cena's. Well, I hate to tell you this, it doesn't matter if he's heel or face. If the crowd likes him, his merchandise is going to sell. The most you can do is just stop producing as much of it. So, that's all I really got.
Wick, last call in your direction.
Well, now I want to know who MaBo's talking about, so let's wrap this up very quickly. YouTube Entertainment Show, Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. This Wednesday, we, of course, have Hard Knocks Harrington from the big island of Hawaii. We'll get to talk to Hard Knocks, and first thing I'm going to ask him is like, so tell us about yourself.
That's funny.
Now, Hard Knocks, very well known in Hawaii. We're going to ask him about headbutting a Samoan and what it's like and what it will take to bring him over to the mainland that is the United States of America. And actually, Eddie, you told us not to respond, but I got to say something. Eric Holder has resigned, so that's even worse that he went to France. So.
And that person means even less in my book.
Oh, yeah, I know. Barack definitely should have been. There were over
No. Back Nine Barry.
Our president.
Back Nine Barry.
Our president.
That just makes him sound like a porno star.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn. Back Nine Barry.
Our president should have been over there. There were over 1 million people there, and there were 40 heads of state there. He should have went. But once again, as always, unless it happens over here, everybody acts like it doesn't happen. If it was on World Star Hip Hop, he would have been over there. I promise you that.
Well, if it had something to do with Jay-Z and Beyonce, he'd be there.
Well, that's racist, Eddie. So
no, it didn't. No, it's not in the least. It's people.
So I'm sure Joe Nelson. I'm sure this is his favorite part of the show. I love when people talk nothing but right wing and conservatism. Like, I'm not conservative. Yeah, you are. I'm an independent, so I can say that. And Anonymous. I hope Anonymous gets exactly what they're talking about doing, because
go ahead. I saw that.
They have declared war on radical Islamic terrorists, and they're talking about fighting fire with fire. Good, because if anybody can do it, it's going to be Anonymous, and I fully and completely support Anonymous. What they did with the KKK, what they did to the Ferguson and all the police that were going on, I totally accept that, and they did the right thing because there was no violence to come from it, but they put all the violence that was brought up there on the forefront. And at least we not forget that nobody's talking about the NAACP building in Colorado being bombed, because of course black people being bombed. Nobody gives a crap about that. And or I do, but most people don't in the South. And also, come to find out, there were 3 people from Georgia, from Rome, Georgia, talking about killing police and killing people that they said were putting out extra constitutional amendments. So let that simmer for a little minute.
Yeah, we start getting into political theocracy. Trust me, we'll be here a while, and that's going to be a show that everybody's going to have a lot of fun with. See, I am.
Oh wait, I got something.
Go ahead.
Hold on, Eddie. I got something.
Go ahead.
Just because I don't know if I don't know if I'm about to flick a match onto a gasoline gasoline-soaked brag or not. But,
Go ahead.
For the fourth time, Wick's favorite person in the world has sent me a friend's request on Facebook.
Are you kidding me?
No, hold on. Let me.
Dude, he's done that twice to Angie, even after I called his ass out.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Are you talking about Jason, not Jessica Biel?
Yes.
Okay, we're playing the music. We're getting out of here.
Okay, everybody. Wednesday night, the To Be Determined Show, the To Be Determined Show, the Merchants of Death, the Unlucky Charms, and the Sevenfold Saints, and the Wicked Nemesis all have Facebook fan pages.
He's probably listening right now.
Good, I hope he's a homosexual. Why? Because I wouldn't. Why? Because I wouldn't book Octavia. Because she's a crappy wrestler. Because I wouldn't book him. He wants to up the price on a ring, and then when I call him out on it, tell him he's a mark. He shouldn't be anywhere around the business. He should buy a ticket. He jumps in his car and drives off screaming curse words. Notice I said jumped in his car.
You sure it wasn't his wife's car?
It probably was his wife.
There you go.
He was having an affair with Octavia. So.
Thanks, MaBo.
You're welcome.
God bless America.
Hey, that's the best announcer in the Southeast, Eddie.
I don't have to call myself anything. I let everybody else do it because everybody else knows I actually care about what I do. I'm not going to get into this.
We built this city.
We built this city on my big toe when that son of a bitch hurts. Thank God it was only Smurf Village. Okay, where were we? Let's run it down very quickly. Tonight, the trifecta continues. In just about 40 minutes from right now, WrestleRage Radio with Spark Rage and Stan kicks off. Rudy Boy Gonzalez, their very special guest, at 10 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. The Midnight Black Mass with Reverend Dan Wilson kicks off. Special guest slated to be... Okay. I'm trying not to just cough my head off, and I am so sorry, folks. But like I said, the brand new edition of the Midnight Black Mass kicks off in 2.5 hours from a... Stop it. Just kill me now. On Tuesday night, the 13th of January, Beyond Ringside Back to Basics returns 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The To Be Determined show you just heard Wednesday night, the 14th at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. And Cause and Effect present the Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. You got us on the 15th. And on the 17th, the Saturday Showcase. Hitman Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock and Company coming back at you live this coming Saturday. We'll be back for that one. Folks, be sure to keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com. At Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. And for me personally, at Fast Eddie Layne on Twitter, Fast Eddie Layne, LAYNE.com. And Facebook.com/Fast Eddie Layne. I swear I didn't know that there was another announcer in the state of Alabama working in pro wrestling that spells his name LANE. That's because I spell mine LAYNE, you jagoff.
Yay! iHeartRadio, there you go, bumping up. Automatic, bumping it up.
I forgot to mention that throughout the course of the broadcast. Thank you. Until next time, WrestleRage Radio with Mark Rage and Sand kicks off in 35 minutes from right now for Mark MaBo Bowman. Say goodnight, MaBo.
No, they always say silence is golden, so there you go.
So you'll never be a rich man.
Yeah, well, quesadilla.
There you go, quesadilla. For the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
And for all our Hawaiian supporters out there, aloha means bye-bye.
Hey!
I'm younger than you!
Son of a buzzard!
And I'm bigger and stronger than you, Eddie. I can say that.
You're younger and stronger than me?
Yes, and I got a bigger penis than you, so there you go.
Yeah, we'll argue that point, too.
I'm the reverse Garmin.
We'll argue that point, but we'll never pull them out. That's for damn sure.
I will. I don't give a shit.
Hashtag reverse Garmin.
And I dare anybody in the Southeast that thinks that they're a better manager than me, if your name's not Jeff Bailey or Reverend Dan Wilson, please, by any means, grab your microphone and get booked somewhere that's not a promotion that Mike Jackson runs, and we'll talk.
Until next time, this is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, saying adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, abesina, au revoir. And the phrase wraps up, until we meet again, aloha means bye-bye. Join us right here next time as we leave our week to be,
to be determined.
Until next time, as we all go beyond ringside. Bye for now.